Hi, sir. Hi. Good to see you. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Kristen. Nice to see you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today on what I think is a very exciting day for us in the state of Tennessee and for kids and families in the state of Tennessee. During my State of the State, I made comments that I hoped that Tennessee would be a leader in the country for foster care and for adoption. And today is a very important step in that direction. We are announcing today an initiative called Tennessee Fosters Hope. And Tennessee Fosters Hope is a partnership between my administration and local and global leaders in foster care and adoption that are located right here in this state. We have together a collective desire that every child in Tennessee that is in the foster care system can find access to a safe and a loving home. And that will be our goal, and that will be the effort of Tennessee Fosters Hope. We all know that at the very core of who we are, there's a deep need to belong and to be connected. And the most fundamental need of children is that they have that belonging and connectedness in their home. And we have a crisis in this country of a lot of children that in fact do not have that. So Tennessee Fosters Hope is about supporting those kids and those families and ensuring that we get that safe and stable and secure home for every kid in our state. Maria and I are excited about this effort. Maria grew up in a family that fostered children, and so throughout her childhood, they had foster children in their home. She has siblings today that are fostering children right now. Her family has a long history in this and a particular interest. Maria and I have both served in orphanages in other countries, and we are excited to be able to serve children right here at home. There are opportunities around the world to serve kids, but this is going to be an opportunity for Tennesseans to serve right here at home. There are currently 8,000 children in foster care and DCS in our state. 350 of those children are waiting to be adopted. And now more than ever, they need a safe place. And when I first came into office, I announced the creation of the Governor's Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives. And I'm proud to have Dave Werland, our Executive Director for that office, with us today. And the whole purpose of that office is to engage the faith community and community organizations across the state to leverage the power of Tennesseans to meet needs. That I've said many, many times, government isn't the answer to the greatest challenges that we face in our society. The people are. And the people show up by way of individuals, families, community organizations, nonprofits, faith institutions, private sector partners. And so this collaboration is the way that we will find real change through the nonprofits and these organizations working together. I want to talk a little bit about who's up here today to create this initiative of Tennessee Fosters Hope. Our Department of Children's Services, Jennifer Nichols, is here on stage. So DCS is the state's partner in this. Kristen Allender, the Executive Director of Tennessee Kids Belong, is with us today. My lifelong friend, longtime friend, Stephen Curtis Chapman. Stephen Curtis and Mary Beth and their daughter Emily Chapman Richards operate or are responsible for the foundation called Show Hope, which is a global leader in the adoption space, and they'll be partnering with us today. Throughout this initiative, we're going to establish a network of churches statewide that will support the foster and adoptive needs of their communities, to recruit and certify more certified foster homes with a specific focus on those caring for youth that have increased needs. Move children that are currently in full DCS custody into forever homes. And that will allow us to truly be a leader in the country. Tennessee Kids Belong is leading the effort to engage these partners, these houses of worship, in preparing families for the very difficult task of becoming an adopting family or a foster family. We all know that opening up your home to a child, either through adoption or through foster care, is a high calling. It takes a tremendous amount of sacrifice, but it also takes a tremendous amount of preparation, and these partners will together be a part of preparing those families for that very important work. We specifically need families in Tennessee to engage with us to serve our children and to serve our most at-risk children in this process. This typically includes children with increased health needs, children that are older, that are teenage children, children that are in large sibling sets. These kids are often very difficult to place, and this will be some of the focus of our partnership here, is to get these most difficult kids placed in a loving home that will forever change the trajectory of these kids' lives. Is Jason Stacy here? There you are. I just want to say thank you to Jason. I talked about partners that are going to have to be engaged with this from the private sector as well, not just nonprofits. So Jason runs and owns the Nissan of Cool Springs dealership. And Jason has graciously agreed to offer, this is an example of how we need partners to step up. We need Tennesseans to step up all across the state. Jason is offering free rental cars to any foster family that's taking in a sibling set and a large sibling set, and a discount to any foster family that's purchasing a vehicle to fit the more kids that they're going to have into their cars. You know what? Thank you for that. I highlighted that particular example because it is going to take all of Tennessee to make Tennessee a leader in this place. We, by the way, the state also wants to encourage, by way of our own policy, families that are engaging in this. That's why we have proposed Tenncare coverage extension for adopted youth that will allow them to retain their Tenncare eligibility until the age of 18, regardless of assistance eligibility federally or from a statewide standpoint. By the way, I want to thank the members of the General Assembly many of them have advocated for stronger work in the adoption space and in the foster care space for some time, and their input in this has been incredibly important to us. So it wouldn't happen without the members of the General Assembly. So we're grateful for that as well. These are our kids, and they're our responsibility. And I'm asking Tennesseans to step up, to consider how it is that you can help this cause. It's not for every family to take children in, but I believe it's for every family to, at the very least, help support those who are in whatever way it is that you can. Scripture talks about the need for every part of the body to work together. We need each one of you to join us. We need churches and families and businesses to use their unique gifts and their talents and their assets to come together and make this happen. If you're interested in getting involved in any way, please visit tnfostershope.com for more information. Reach out to Department of Children's Services, reach out to any of the partners that you see on the stage if you have any interest in helping us at all. We know that we're going to be a national leader in this space because we know that Tennesseans are going to step up, as they always do. And it's an issue that can't wait any longer. Frankly, our children can't wait any longer to find themselves a safe and a loving home, and we want that to happen in this state. So we invite you to be a part of this story of hope and this story of redemption and the story of an example of loving our neighbors by engaging with those of us who are engaging to help kids. Thank you all for being here. Jennifer, would you make a few comments on what your department is going to do to help out in this initiative?
Thank you, Governor Lee, and to our partners that are here today, both on the stage and those of you who were out in the audience. What a happy day it is to be part of this initiative that will be transformational in the life of the children. You know, with the 8,000 children in foster care that Governor Lee mentioned, what we know is the Department of Children's Services cannot do it by itself. Those children range in age from 1 day old all the way up to young adulthood, and their needs are as varied. We have children that have acute medical care issues. We have children that need therapy for addiction and anger management. We have children that have treatment needs for behavioral and mental health issues. And we have children that need the most basic of care, literally a home, love, supervision, and everything in between. And each one of these children has suffered the trauma of being removed from their home. DCS must rely on the community of average citizens who will open their hearts and their homes to these children. Citizens who are willing to take in children at any hour of the day or night, offering them hope, encouragement, and care. Today, there are over 5,100 certified, approved foster homes in the state of Tennessee. And yet, we still have need. As the governor mentioned, we have two groups of children who are particularly in need: teenagers and sibling groups. And right now, there are 3,292 teenagers in foster care across the state. And teenagers are sometimes the most challenging of our youth to find placements for. And there are misconceptions about fostering teenagers, and some foster parents will tell you it's the most rewarding experience of their life. There's also 1,669 groups of 2 or more siblings, the other group that's particularly hard to find placement for. Because when the trauma occurs of children being removed from their home, we do everything we can, if there's a sibling, to keep them together. Because you can imagine how that would reduce the trauma. And through Tennessee Fosters Hope, working with our partners and the faith-based community, I know that we can increase the number of foster parents who feel called to foster these particularly special groups of children. I also want to say thank you to the more than 3,000 case managers that work day in and day out in our state. Especially, it's actually, I think, Foster Care, National Social Workers, Month, and want to say, give them a shout out. It's sometimes thankless work, and they spend countless hours, late nights, finding placements for children that come into care, late in the evening. I know that they look forward, as I do, to joining forces with our partners, Tennessee Kids Belong, Show Hope, and certainly our Governor's Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives, to seeing this be successful. And I want to thank Governor Lee one more time for making family and children's well-being a priority for this administration. He and First Lady Maria Lee don't just talk the talk. They've put their words to action, and here we are today. So thank you for that. And I think it's Mary Beth Chapman that I heard say that everyone's not called to adopt, but everyone's called to do something. And I suggest this something, fostering, couldn't have a higher mission. So thank you all for being here.
Well, hello, everyone. Governor Lee, friend, buddy, good to see you, and Commissioner and all of you all. Friends, fellow Tennesseans, it is an honor to be with you. I was told, well, when my daughter told me I had 2 to 3 minutes, everyone was very nervous because I have a hard time saying my name in 2 to 3 minutes. My wife says it's the reason God gave me the gift of songwriting, because it's the only way I can say something in 2 or 3 or maybe 3.5 minutes if I stretch it, and without going on and on. So I have notes to keep me on task, but I really am very honored and so excited to stand here with you all and to stand here beside my friend. Great things have been done and are being done by my friend and many of you in this room, but I don't think there's anything you have done or set your sights on that is more important than this issue and what we're here to discuss and celebrate and move forward in this great state and to be a leader. That's so exciting for us as Tennesseans, my wife Mary Beth and me and our daughter Emily. So Mary Beth and I have been advocates of adoption and foster care since welcoming our 3 daughters home through the miracle of adoption. Many of you know the story. Shohana, our daughter we adopted this month. In fact, we just celebrated her Gotcha Day a few days ago, 21 years ago. It was March of 2000. Hard to believe. And then Stevie Joy, our daughter, who is a senior in high school here in Franklin, Tennessee, and then Maria, who we adopted in 2004. Out of our own personal experience, we founded Show Hope in 2003 to care for orphans by engaging the church and reducing barriers to adoption. Anyone who knows the Show Hope story knows that this young lady here, who is our daughter Emily Chapman Richards, was the beginning of that story for us. At a 11-year-old, very tenacious young lady who came home from a trip where she had encountered children without a family, and it broke her heart, and she began what we like to say was an all-out campaign. She'd be a wonderful campaign manager. I can attest to that because she really was convinced that we were supposed to consider adoption, and God began to work, and here we are today. We are truly, at Show Hope, my wife and I, Emily, grateful for Governor Lee's leadership, the work of the Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives, Commissioner Jennifer Nichols, her leadership, the work of the Department of Children's Services, the incredible expertise of Tennessee Kids Belong, and all involved in this for providing the leadership to this initiative and working to resource families and communities to best support Tennessee's amazing children. You know, the governor said this, and Commissioner mentioned it as well, and I like to give credit to one of my favorite authors and my favorite person on the planet, Mary Beth Chapman, who says not everyone is called to adopt, but we do believe everyone is called to do something, and because every child deserves to know the love and the security of a permanent family, we believe everyone must do something, and we think it's only right that Tennessee could be an amazing leader in this, and we're so thankful. It is an honor to personally and specifically encourage the churches throughout our state to become involved with Tennessee Fosters Hope, ultimately helping to meet the needs of children and families impacted by adoption and foster care. As part of Tennessee Fosters Hope, Show Hope is excited to be able to make available at no cost what we believe to be some very valuable tools to support children and families. These resources help address the long-lasting effects of traumatic childhood experiences and seek to support child placements that promote secure and healthy attachment. Some of the resources that Show Hope is making available includes, number one, free access to a conference we're very excited about, Show Hope's Hope for the Journey Conference. We're also excited to, and I think the numbers are, would you say almost 300? Yeah, 250 families that that have signed up, and that number is growing daily. So we're very excited to be able to share that conference. A free copy of The Connected Child, a very impactful book. It's impacted many families and many children's lives, written by Doctors Karen Purvis and David Cross, and making those available to Tennessee Foster's Hope registrants. Number three, a trauma competency continuum for churches and houses of worship with an accompanying resource list to move a community from trauma-aware to trauma-informed. It was created in collaboration with our very good friends who are here with us, Mark and Tana Ottinger, at Empowered to Connect, based in Memphis, Tennessee. Go Tennessee again. And there will be other resources available as well. But we're excited to be able to provide those through Show Hope in partnership. And finally, we really do look forward with great expectation and great hope to the good work that lies ahead, and to Tennessee continuing to be a leader in these issues and setting an example for the rest of the country, and what it looks like for communities to show up and show hope, as we like to say, in meeting one another's needs. God bless you all, and may God bless the children and the families of this great state of Tennessee. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Holly Nichols, and I am absolutely honored to be here today in representation of Tennessee foster parents across the state, which is not something that I take lightly. A little bit about myself and my husband, Cameron, who's here as well. We became certified foster parents in Tennessee back in 2018. Soon after that, we did some emergency quick placements, and before terribly long, we received a call for a sibling set, as we just emphasized the need for sibling sets in the state of Tennessee, for a 5-day-old baby and his older sister, who was 20 months old at the time. We prayerfully considered, and we just felt peace about saying yes. At the time, we had a biological 4-year-old, a biological 2-year-old, and I was 5 months pregnant. So we knew we were going to be in for a whirlwind, but we did say yes. Our kids' case lasted just under 2 years. We had an incredible team representing them. We had wonderful support with supervision and our last caseworker that we had, wonderful attorneys for the children, and just fighting for what was best for these children. And that actually, in this particular case, ended up being adoption. We had the privilege of being able to adopt them this past September. So we now have a 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1-year-olds in our home. There's never a dull moment, but we would not change it for the world. I actually grew up here in Williamson County, and truthfully and embarrassingly, I didn't know much about the foster care world. We initially dug in through a meeting that was hosted at our local church. They partnered at that time with the Department of Children's Services just to offer a place to have an informational meeting for anyone who is interested in what foster care is, what it means to be a foster parent. It wasn't us attending and signing up right then and there to become a foster parent, but just truly trying to learn more. So we agreed, after some discussion and prayer as well, to attend, which led to the next step, which was signing up for training. Now it's called Tennessee Key for prospective foster parents. And then after that, we started the home study process. And here we are today, 5 children later. This one step by our local church, agreeing to host and walk alongside the Department of Children's Services to increase the amount of foster homes in our state and the need for foster homes, is just one simple way that our local churches can step up to make a difference and to provide opportunities for an increase in foster families. Another way that we've experienced incredible support through our church is through Tennessee Kids Belong, initiating the Wraparound Ministry. The Wraparound Ministry can be taught to any church or local body of worship that's interested in having it. They have a team that selects a foster or adoptive family to wrap around, and they help meet tangible needs of that specific family. Anything from lawn care to helping with grocery runs to babysitting, anything that particular family needs in order to be able to provide more adequate and wonderful care to the children in their homes, to be more relational with those kids, to be more present for court dates, for meetings, and everything that foster care entails. So that has been a wonderful blessing for our family. Also, businesses have come and stepped up and walked alongside us as well. We had a local company contact us and ask, if we had a lot of laundry that we needed help with, and with 5 kids, of course the answer was yes, I was drowning in laundry. And they now come and pick up our laundry twice a week, wash it, dry it, fold it, return it, free of charge. And that is such a blessing to our family and to others that they do that for. It just helps foster families know that we're seen, that we're supported, and that we're not doing this alone. Now, to backtrack really quick to our adoption, at that point in time, we were given the option to close our home and say, okay, we've done our part. We have 5 kids. Thank you for this experience, but we're no longer a foster family, or to keep our home open. And we actually chose the latter, specifically because of the need that we just talked about for teenagers in our state. Unfortunately, there seems to be a bad stigma that does sometimes come along with teenagers that are in the foster care system. But I'm here today, and I can honestly tell you that there has not been a single teen that we have said yes to that we have regretted making that decision. We have learned so much through every teenager who is a child that walks through our home. We have learned how well our young kids love on them and how therapeutic our young children are for them as well. It has been such a blessing to our family. So if anyone is fearful of that, I'm here to say, we haven't had bad experiences, and we're so thankful for the yeses that we have given them, and they have actually physically thanked themselves for saying yes to them. These teenagers are children, like I just said, and even the younger children. They are our future. They're our future generations. These teens and younger children are who we need to focus on now. We need to help offer support to help change the trajectories of the rest of their lives. What we do now directly affects our valid concerns when it comes to crime rates, incarceration rates, homelessness, drug crises. It starts here. If we care about those things, then we care about foster care. And to emphasize once again, everyone can step up and do something. So I would just like to ask our lovely volunteer state, what can you do to step up to help open more homes, to support those homes that are open? We can do this together. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you to each one of you all that are here and supportive of this. Tennessee Fosters Hope is an exciting initiative that truly will, I believe, make our state a leader in the country. So, and thank you all for being here as well. We're going to take a couple of questions on this subject and any other question that the media has. So if you all want to just stay up here a minute in case there's a question that one of you might want to answer, I'm happy to start. Yes, sir. If you just speak loud, that'd be fine.
What was the impetus for the decision today to open up the vaccine appointments to anyone of a certain age? Was there a certain reason why now is the right time?
Well, President Biden has made a request of all states to make vaccine available to all Americans by May 1st, and we wanted to commit to that, but we actually wanted to improve on that. We looked at, on balance, of the requests for vaccine across the state, the supplies that we believe are coming in the next several weeks, and we determined that we believe the supply and demand will provide us with the opportunity to give it to everyone in the state.
So my follow-up to that would just be, if 50% of Tennesseans or something like that roughly want the vaccine and get it, it doesn't quite get to the 70% number you hear a lot of times with herd immunization. So what happens at that point?
Well, there are a lot of folks in our state that actually contracted COVID. There may be we don't know who is going to take the vaccine or not. Boy, we're encouraging Tennesseans of every stripe and color and age and every Tennessean to take to take opportunity of this vaccine. We're making it available in every community, working really hard to make sure we do that. But combined with the number of folks that will receive a vaccine and those that have contracted the virus and have a level of immunity that is yet to be determined how long that immunity lasts or what level it really is, we certainly hope that a herd immunity, or that we are able to approach it through that. But I think it's important to remember the best way that's going to happen is through immunization, through vaccination. And that's why we're trying to make it available to every Tennessean.
We're pretty tight on time, so if you'll just raise your hand, I think we have time for two.
Natalie?
Can you explain, Mr. Representative, can you explain what is new about what you all are announcing today versus what the state is already doing? Just trying to understand and portray to readers what's actually new about the state's partnership, what the state is doing to advance children.
Yeah, so it is an initiative that pulls together these partners and others to work on a collaboration so that we increase the number of community organizations and churches that are involved in this effort, so that we increase the awareness of Tennesseans all across the state of the needs for the foster care and adoption system, that we increase our ability to provide services for those families that want to be engaged. So there's additional training associated with this. There's additional networking and supports for families. It really is an increased collaborative effort that pulls together and brings to the table stakeholders who are experts in the field so that we can better serve families who might have an interest in adoption and foster care. Yeah, you know, I would love to be able to answer that question. I would love to get back to you on that question. I'm certain that this team will put together a strategy and a goal for that. Good question.
All right, we have one more question right here.
Thank you, Governor. When do you expect the major effort force to come down?
The Historical Commission voted on that about maybe 10 days ago. I don't remember the date. There is a 120-day period following that vote that is a part of that process. So there's a process outlined in statute for that. And whenever that period occurs, then there's a process that includes the building commission, and I don't know the steps after that, but that process will be followed through.
What do you say to people who are saying that the leadership here is just kicking the can down the road?
Yeah.
To the issue that is major effort
Yeah.
force?
I think we confronted that issue, and we brought it before and we followed a process, which is the right way to do this. We don't rip down or remove or tear down without a process. We follow a process. We brought it before a capital commission. We followed that process and the timing associated with that. We brought it before a historical commission, and we will follow the process as outlined in statute for any changes that occur in the Capitol. And I think that's the right way to do it.
All right, so that's all the time the governor has. I know these other great folks will stay in our.
Thank you all very much.